Look, Jan. They put the ramp up. It looks like Dina's house.
Oh, good.
The VA must have come to, unless someone else did that.
No, they had to move it, she said.
Oh, this is the whole ramp?
They were gonna move the one from the other house to her house,
The VA?
but they had to wait until he moved in, she said.
Ah, that's nice. Thank God. What do you... We just don't say the names of the general. Can you hear me? Not you. We don't say the name. Oh man. On point. We should. No. It's more. What is a four-prong pitchfork called? A triton? T-R-I-T-R-I-T-O-N, I would say. It's not so much a pitch, it's three. What? Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Trifurcation. But what is a four? There's a name for that type of... What is that? What is it that Neptune or Poseidon or even Aquaman, what do they use? Poseidon weapon staff, very good. It's also three. There is a pitchfork with four, and I can't remember the name of it. Yeah, I know all the tritons, but I just can't remember. Okay, we use a different example. Well, and that's why I wanted to do that, because it says Trump's four-pronged war on, yeah, so that's why I was looking for that what it's called. That's okay. We're starting about 1 minute, babe.
Okay. CS Husband said a 4-prong is a manure fork for pitching hay or garden fork.
A pitching fork, yeah, that's four prongs. But I'm telling you, there's a name besides try this thing. Bless you, babe. Oh wow, that makes no never mind. That makes no never mind.
CS Husband put up all the different forks for you.
Did he?
What do people in China call Chinese food?
What do people in China call Chinese food?
Uh-huh.
Chinese food?
Food.
Huh?
Food.
Food. That's not even a joke, is it? Is it?
I don't know.
Food is Food, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Missing the joke. What was it that our lawyer told us? Our lawyer
Ham sandwich.
came in from Afghanistan yesterday, and we spent the afternoon with him, and I told him some of my jokes. And what did he say?
Ham sandwich walked into a bar.
A ham sandwich walked into a bar, and the bartender says, "I'm sorry, we don't serve food here." Oh, I get it. Okay. Greetings, family. What's up? How y'all doing? It's good to be with you. It's my favorite number of the month. It's the 26th. Is it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, whew. It's the 26th of November of 2019. It's good to be with you. Here we are again, once again, gathered together to study something that we have in commonality, the Iraqi dinar. We set the ground rules, right away, because we have a lot of newbies that come from many different places. It's interesting, the newbies, they're calling me and they're asking me questions that are so rudimentary, so basic, it's like, really? Today I haven't had this one asked in a long time. They said, "Frank, so when I go to cash out my currency," I said, "You're not going to cash it out." "What? I can't cash it out?" "No, if you cash it out, you'd be getting the same amount, the same thing." "You mean you want to exchange it for a different currency so you can have a capital gains based on, well, never mind, but yeah, continue." "Okay, so when I exchange my currency at a bank, do I pay my income taxes at the bank?" Why are you asking me that? Because they're telling me we have to? Who's telling you that? Well, go tell they're stupid. A bank has no ability to collect taxes from you, American citizens, then give it to our government. No. No, you're going to pay taxes, and you're going to I see it. Thank you. Thank you. Now I got a feed. No taxes on exchange. No taxes on exchange to date. No taxes on exchange. Now there's another concept that's oh yeah, this is a capital gains tax and we're not going to pay any taxes on it. No, you're going to pay taxes. You're going to pay taxes. The problem is you don't know what bracket they're going to put you in. You don't know what category they're going to put the dinar in as a capital gains. It could be all the way up to 40%. It could be as low as 10, 15%. That's what we're waiting for, to know what kind of taxes we have to pay. How are they going to categorize this? But for someone that says, well, no, it's a capital gain when you know there's no taxes on capital gains. Oh, okay. Anyways, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, the last time that we were together, less than 24 hours ago, we were given an update by our fireflies about some things that had occurred like that overnight, literally, from Sunday into Monday. I hope that you were able to be with us to hear our opinion on what it is that we're saying. Yes, some are saying no taxes on exchange. Girl, Homo sapien. You go punch them in the nose, girl. How dare they, number one, teach you something that is not their specialty, nor certified in to teach you, nor authorized to even probably give you their opinion because it's false. You honestly think that you're going to make this money and the Uncle Sam is not going to collect one dime off of you? Oh yeah, well, let's just forget about it. Yeah, that's okay. That's what they do for a living. And then on top of it, what you got, they know every penny of it. They're going to find out a way to take it away from you. That's their job. What, you don't know what the IRS does for a living? They make your life miserable. They try to take your money because that's their job. Your job is to keep it. Look up in the Constitution of the United States of America. You're going to be surprised. It says that it is your duty to pay your income taxes to the government, but it is your responsibility to avoid paying those taxes. Oh, yeah. Look, if you're going to play a game like Monopoly, you better know all the damn rules. Boy, it didn't take long to get on my high horse, did it? I don't like stupidity because it is derived from ignorance. And ignorance is a choice. What I'm going to do tonight is I'm going to give you a lot. I'm pretty sure I'm going to be able to give you that much. That's a lot. And it's about 3 days of stuff. It's a lot. I don't really know exactly how income taxes is not in the Constitution. Only required to pay taxes during wartime? Continue on with this report. All right, Casey, because you know what? I wouldn't follow people that have that type of thinking into a brightly lit room because they still wouldn't understand. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get to work because I came on a little bit early so I can get out of here early. Yeah. And we're not going to have a UB2B tomorrow. And that's why I want to give you as much as I can. If we can get it all to you, fine. If not, then we just don't. Welcome, gurus. And I mean that sincerely. I just got a bad headache. You know my days, what they're like, and now with Dad. If you heard our report yesterday, in there from Firefly, in there you heard Mr. Frank, they're doing something. They just announced it on the television. They say that they're calling it a stress test. The banks in Iraq, oh, they're showing that they're shaking hands. It's both the GOI and the CBI that are there, but it's mainly the CBI that's showing that their banks now are certified. They went under something called a stress test. We all have knowledge of something. Yes, sir. A stress test. This is the banks themselves. They do this, and the Central Bank of Iraq asked their banks to do the stress test. It is something that we told you that it was brought from the United States of America. When banks failed in the United States, it's because they did not have enough liquidity to back up their bank. They did not have enough assets. The failure of the banks in the United States of America a few years ago, that failure is what the Fab Four. That failure, oh boy. That failure is what the United States Fab Four has brought over to Iraq, and that's what you just recently saw in that article, that they asked the banks, please, here in Iraq, please, you guys can't fail. You just can't fail. We need for you to do a stress test. And what it means is that we want to pressure your systems. If not, we shut them all down. You cannot be insufficient. You cannot be insufficient in the backing. In the backing of your funds in your bank. So the banks in Iraq recently went through basically their capital, their assets, the backing of their currency. Which, when you think about it, that is very important. And the reason why is because, in my opinion, they are about to reinstate the value of their currency. And that value needs to be fortified financially with each bank. And now that, in my opinion, and by the way, this whole call is in my opinion, and now in my opinion that all these central banks in Iraq have received the new small category notes, then that is important. Did you get your, let me see that receipt. Got it. All right, well, okay. Yeah, no, I don't want to see the date of the schedule when you're going to do that. Let me see how much we gave you. And what was the percentage that you got physical? I see. You got that back? I don't know. Well, do a stress test, man. All right. And they did. And they all passed. I got ketchup on my cufflinks. You guys want me just to go away? Napoleon, Mark Real. I got ketchup on my sleeves. No, it's okay. You see, I didn't really pray before I got on today, and I have too much humanistic emotions in me right now, whereas they should be more on the spiritual side. I'm here to help. I'm not here to glorify myself. Oh, they're picking on me. Who gives a squat if they're picking on you, Frank? Deliver the message. I just did. They now know all about the stress tests. The former oil minister of the Kurdistan area, he did some bad things. He stole the money that was coming in to the Kurdistan region. And it's a lot. And when Daddy got there, this was one of the it's actually the sixth thing that they did, the stress tests. Because we brought it from the United States of America to teach them how not to fail. And then they started going out and handing out arrest warrants and arresting them on the spot, sending out arrest warrants. And the former, because he tried to split down, the former oil minister of the Kurdistan region, when just over the weekend, when he was in at the UK in London, he stopped over there, and when he was there, he was handed a lawsuit. He was handed a lawsuit file there at in London on behalf of an Iraqi firm. Now, why would this Iraqi firm go against this oil minister that everybody knows was stealing money? That's why the Kurdistan region couldn't send their percentage over to Baghdad for the budget, because it was stolen. Okay. So why would this firm, I mean, independent, just one firm, decide, no, there's more than one. Why would they decide to go after this guy? They slapped criminal charges on him. In my opinion, this is why the Kurds said, we don't have any problems anymore. Hi, Pence. What's up, buddy? There's no problems, Pence. We'll send our oil percentage to Baghdad. We'll meet you in Baghdad. You don't even have to come up here. We're cooperating with Baghdad, and we are cooperating with the 2020 budget. Yeah, and I think that it was extremely important that they did that, because when Pence went there, they were running out of time. They were already telling their citizens, no, we're not going to do the budget until next year. What? I don't think so. And then yesterday we showed you how when Mahdi came out and he just talked with a completely different attitude. I'm going to give you everything you want. It's in the budget. It's not going to be for next year. It's going to be this year. I promise. But you see, Iranian influence. Shut up. Can I just tell them that Iranian influence might give me a hard time? They know it. You're using it as an excuse because you want to fail and you want to impress Iran again. Yeah, whatever. But in the meantime, Kurdistan, are there any problems? Are there any problems whatsoever? And the answer is no. No, not with Baghdad? The GOI? No. No, you see, Pence came and made us an offer we couldn't refuse. He did? Yeah. He said, look, you guys are just screwing around. Send your percentage. Agree on 140. Sign the papers for the HCL so you can get your part. If you send your part to Baghdad. And we said, yeah, well, okay, we'll do that. I mean, sure, I suppose, you know. Hey, Pence, we can either keep it or we can send it and probably get the same thing. Then what if you were able to sell your own oil independently around the world? Just send your percentage to Baghdad. You would do that for us, Pence? Look, I'm here with carte blanche. What you want? and they got it. And Kurdistan, got it, and they're happy, and they told everybody we're happy, and then they told everybody we love USA, we love Pence. And then Dynasty Oil and Gas Trade Company, they're the ones that put the lawsuit against the former oil minister from Kurdistan, which basically did what? Froze his assets up. Same thing that's happening with the ministers in the GOI. The lawsuit is actually against two people. Now, this is all important because you don't know about these things. And it's important because when they tell you, well, I don't know, man, things aren't happening, you have no idea. Oh, ye of little knowledge. Doggone it, man. They're arresting people left and right. They're doing everything that the citizens want. They even came out, a body came out and told the citizens, with a little pressure up against his temple, I'm going to give you everything right now. Okay, I'm sorry. And we're not going to do it in 2020, but, we're going to do it this year. We're going to read it. We're going to pass it this time. We're going to go. Yeah, and we also have a post rate. We have a post rate. A what? We have a post rate. A what? A post RV rate. Wait a minute. You told the citizens this? Oh my God. Did I mess up? No, I'm just surprised you did. Oh, she's okay. I mean, that's what they told me to say. Okay. I didn't want to say it. You know how crazy Iran went when I said that? And the pressure not only on Mahdi, but everybody in Iraq. And things are moving. And there's more. And when I said I couldn't talk about it, why? Because it's military. So I'm not going to talk about it. But I understand today that more arrived. And it's possible that I'm going to talk about it tonight. This lawsuit, all these people being arrested, it was actually two. From the Kurdistan government, you ready for this? The lawsuit was not only put on that individual, but on the whole government of Kurdistan. That doesn't look good when Daddy got there. It's like, son, you got your report card today? Yeah, I did. Let me see. All F's. But Dad, that stands for fantastic. No, it doesn't. You failed. And when Pence, saw the things that they were doing there, he said, so it changed within 24 hours. And the same thing here in Kurdistan. Boom. So the Kurdistan government has a lot of pressure on them. And when they showed the report card to Daddy, Daddy says, well, you guys got lawsuits on you, on your freaking government. This is not good. Well, we're sorry. What is it? It's our former minister of natural resources. Thought it was your oil minister. It's him too. It's everybody. Oh shoot! Clean it up. You gonna take my deal or not? You know something? We will. Fine. Now get out there and tell them that the HCL is ready, the 140 is ready, and if you do that, I'll activate the writer in the budget before I leave. This whole call is in my opinion. Everything I'm saying is in my opinion. Can I have a piece of ice? Okay. How rude, huh? Somebody will send me an email and tell me that. You remember yesterday when I was going nuts with people texting me and telling me, I can't hear you. Turn up the volume. I can't find you. I can't hear you. And I said, will you stop texting me? What, you personal care just for one? Really? Take care of your own problem. And the person texts me, what did they say today?
You need to call me and apologize.
You need to call me right away. And I said, wait a minute, who are you? I'm the one that you insulted yesterday, and you need to apologize to me. First of all, I don't even know who you are. Second of all, nobody knows who the hell I was talking to. And third of all, goodbye. And I blocked his phone number. Unbelievable. That vain? This guy that we were talking about, he is now the assistant prime minister. He is now the assistant prime minister of energy affairs in Barzani's government. Can you imagine? And it just happened, okay? I can just see that. Let me see that report card. And who else on that list? Really? Yeah. Your oil minister, the former natural resource minister? Yeah. Bring him into the room. Okay. Daddy wants to see you. And he shows up, and the next thing you know, he's made the assistant prime minister of the energy of affairs to Barzani's government. Your next job will be official dog catcher. Keep it up, sucker. And then he says, well, the oil company refused to give me a bribe. So I turned against Barzani, and I stole it. Man, you a sick puppy. By the way, his name is Asti. Asti Harami. Asti Ha. Hey Rami, isn't it? No, it's Ha. H-A. Asti Harami. You jerk. So, anyways, they didn't give you a bribe. Look at the mentality of these people. You're supposed to give me a bribe. Dude, that's illegal. But he's supposed to give me a bribe. I know it's illegal, but he's supposed to give me one. These guys got served at the London, I told you yesterday, at the London Heathrow Airport. Wow, that Marco Cruz is still being a pain?
Don't worry about it. I got it.
Yeah, well, if you have to keep guiding it, just get rid of them. I'm not here to babysit anybody's emotions. They don't like what I've got to say, they can leave. I'll show them the door. He was served at London's Heathrow Airport. In my opinion, the arrival of the United States in Iraq has started a cleaning of the government in order to meet the protesters' demands. You stop and think, look at Hong Kong. Oh my. The government actually said, okay, you can vote. Now, granted, they're not going to get to vote for the high, like the prime minister, president. They're going to get, those are selected for them. But they will get to vote for people that will represent their district, like district council, to represent them in the government. Wow. Yeah. It's working all over the place. And in Iraq, it's working extremely fast because the presence of the United States of America there is making an amazing significance. Things overnight, from Sunday, Monday, and now into Tuesday, so many things have been turned on and opened. Here's another one. There are two brothers that pleaded guilty here in the United States of America. They say that they helped to felicitate millions of payments in bribes from 9 countries. And guess what? One of those 9 countries was Iraq. So these two brothers, they lived in Monaco. They lived in Monaco, but they are actually Iranian nationals. See how they do it? Some of the people that have been implicated in this, along with these two brothers, was Saratini. That's not Sastini, the holy man, but Saratini, the former oil minister of Iraq. And the other guy was the director of the general, I'm sorry, the director general of the Soft Oil Company, SOFT. And I got to thinking about that. I wondered, I wonder if they had connections with SoftBank in Europe, and that allowed them to use that platform to steal this money. But as soon as the United States got involved, they shut that down. These guys are busted and arrested. And there are many more, many more that are being busted. Is that Bass Face? He sent me a video today. Did you see it? Is it Bass Face or what did he say? Don't bass? You mean like a dum 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 dum? Is that what they did? All this time I thought it was a fish, a fish face. I had the wrong thing. I'm sorry. So your fish plays the bass, the bass. Your bass plays the bass. Is that what it is? And these brothers that I'm just now talking to you about, the appalling thing is that just these two were due to their corruption, just these two. Iraq was in debt over $27 billion to international oil companies by 2015. Thanks, Obama. And I mean that sincerely, because you were the reason for it. The following year, Trump was made president, and he said, no. And they started to gather the intel. The files were delivered by the UK because they were delivered to them. The UK then gave it to the courts, Interpol. They're busting everybody. And there'll be many more. There'll be many more as the process goes on to clean the government of Iraq swamps. And it continues very successfully. Holy cow, really? Glaze Sherlock? Bad too? I'm being bad because I'm paying attention to them, ain't I? I'm sorry. Ladies and gentlemen, KTFA Kona, as I call you. Hey, by the way, do you know what Kona stands for? What?
KTF, always, Nation, Ohana.
Uh-huh.
Ohana Nation, always.
Aloha. KTFO is Ohana Nation. Aloha. Daddy is in Iraq, ladies and gentlemen. We told you he was going to be there. May I suggest that I told you to look at the CBI website because you're up against the wall and there's nothing more. Then turn to the other direction and maybe pay attention to more arriving in Iraq from the United States of America. I'm proud of all of you. You're good people. Yeah, Daddy is in Iraq, and there is more to come, ladies and gentlemen. The citizens of Iraq know this now because they're understanding it and they're seeing it more and more. And what they saw arriving today, they're like, because you asked us to help you, Iraqi citizens. The United States of America is having a sale on sanctions on all of the GOI, basically, because all of it sucks. And that's what you wanted, right? Right, citizens of Iraq? You want a new government that you can vote in, right? The same thing with Hong Kong. They wanted a new government, but they got the first step. They can now actually vote. And what's going on is that these bad people, they're there because they want money. They want to steal somebody else's money. They don't want to earn their own. So, when Uncle Sam, when Daddy arrives, you freeze that money. You freeze their bank accounts, their family's bank accounts, their checking account, any money, any assets that they may have. You freeze it. Properties. If they have a doghouse, you freeze that property. Any contracts that they may have, any deals that said all their assets, their visas, their passports, you just make them a complete neutered minister. And while we arrive with those political individuals that have the authority, the power, the strength to tell Iraq what to do, we also then bring in other things. Yesterday I started telling you about the AC 130 Spectre gunships. Oh my gosh. And they've been upgraded even with greater technology. They can hit a dime on the spot from many, many miles away. How's that possible? In fact, this was the most feared weapon of the ISIS and the Taliban. Barzani talked a long time with Pence, and I found that to be good. Because now you see, or at least, I don't even know if there's any articles. I've been too busy. But you will. The HCL is now about to be released to the citizens of Iraq, to the private oil companies, to the foreign oil companies, and to the government of Iraq. Now, with the HCL signed in the budget of 2020, it will open billions more to pour into Iraq because the hydrocarbon law is a 4-part tetrahedral. I can't say Triton, that's just 3. So, yeah, tetrahedral. How's that? What's a tetrahedral? Well, it's not 4 prongs. It's actually, it's like a chief cornerstone. In the Old Testament of the Bible, it talks about the chief cornerstone that's missing from the top of the Great Pyramid. Wow, there's no top to the pyramid. Interesting. Where is it? So the great chief's cornerstone is an example that's used in the Bible in the Old Testament in teaching. But in this case, wow, did I get off track? But in this case, this 4-prong pitchfork called the HCO. Is a law. That's why it's called the HCO, the hydrocarbon law. And there are four laws to it. And one of those laws is the legality of the foreign oil companies to enter Iraq and make a profit and pay a percentage of that to the government of Iraq. Then the oil proceeds that belong to the citizens, their percentage oil rights and gas rights. It's not just oil. And then the percent profit that belongs to the government of Iraq. And then the percent profit, like I said, to the, or I haven't, but then the percent profit to the National Oil Company of Iraq. By having this HCL law now with the rider activated in the 2020 budget, it brings in more revenue from four different directions. The citizens of Iraq get purchasing power not just because the exchange rate went up for them in value, but now they're getting a percentage of their oil and gas law rights too. Not bad. But more so by the enacting this law with the rider that was in the budget that I kept telling you about, it helps to eliminate more corruption because all the sales of oil from now on will be controlled and negotiated solely under SOMA, SOMO, solely under SOMA, under SOMA's extreme supervision. These four prongs of this law will bring in billions to trillions. A moment, please. Impressive and right on time. I may talk about this tonight. In fact, I'm on YouTube right now, and you are welcome to call me if you want to say anything about this. Love you, Delta. No, it's just oil. It's nothing important. So under the Iraqi SOMA, there will be extreme supervision. These four prongs will bring in billions to trillions now, along with the rate increase into Iraq's economy. Delta will be joining us in just a moment. Maybe we should get the speakers ready, Bill. It brings in billions to trillions into Iraq's economy. Number one, the Iraqi oil and gas company will profit. Number two, the Iraqi citizens in their percentage. Number three, the Iraqi government and their percentage from the foreign oil companies. And number four, the foreign oil company investor percentage that will be brought back to the government, and the jobs that are going to be created from the HCL. You see, family, that was the plan all along. And to see it unfolding exactly the way that I believed it would be happening, I am very pleased. This is more, hold on, buddy. This is more financial power that's coming into Iraq by the activation of the HCL. Not just the purchasing power from the exchange rate going up, but now the power of receiving funds from their oil, the power of receiving funds from new jobs from this HCL that's being signed. This is extremely encouraging to see the budget complete itself this year. Delta, how are you, my friend?
Frankie, Frankie, miss you, brother, you and Jake and the family. I'm really very good. Thank you. I just called here to give you a quick update on the CBI spreadsheet, which is it's exactly lining up with what we have been.
Give me a second. Manny. Hey, brother. You there?
Yes, can you hear me?
I'm trying to connect you. Count 1, 2, 3. Can you hear me?
Yes, can you?
Excellent. Thank you for coming in. This will help the family to see the things that we're telling them is lining up. You take the floor, explain to them what you saw on the spreadsheet with the printing. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Greeting family, greeting everybody. I hope everybody is going to have a good holiday, good Thanksgiving, and we're hoping the best Christmas ever this year. So basically what's going on here, we know that I do follow the spreadsheet of the Central Bank of Iraq, and they do update basically every month. But I was really surprised because I was waiting for them to update September and October month, which it took them long. But today, early morning, they did basically the update, and it was very, very shocking numbers as far as the currency issuing expenses. As you know, family, and Frankie, of course, you know this too. We do track that, and every month when they post that report, they do show us about an average $6 million worth of printing, and they add the money supply, etc. But I did notice for the month of September and October, it's very, very interesting because the total expenses to print those currencies was very close to about $55 million for only 2 months, which is, remember, the average was only about $6 to $7 million a month. They jumped all the way significantly for those 2 months, and we all know that this is basically mostly the lower denominations. And then I was thinking about it too. Why isn't those so expensive? In my opinion, the reason they're very high could be the coins, because the coins are more expensive to mint compared to the paper notes, and so there should be probably a combination between the paper notes and the coins for them to do that. Now, if you add the whole total, since I keep tracking them, it's over a year and a half to close to 2 years now, they should be able to come up with a total about $100 to $150 million. And if you recall, this is what the Central Bank of Iraq told us a long time ago, that in order for them to delete the 3 zeros and come up with the EU notes, is going to cost them around $100 to $150 million. But for them really to come up with this amount, this is, in my opinion, very significant.
That's a lot of ice cream. That's a lot of ice cream.
A lot of ice cream and banana splits, whatever you want to call it. It's definitely very interesting for them to do that. And then what happened is the M2 figure, the money supply, jumped basically from 44 trillion, and it's now close to about 50 trillion. So they added, I did, watch and did the calculations, they added close between 4 to 5 trillion worth of new currency. And this is really very significant. And this is lining up exactly, Frankie, with, remember when he told the family about, walking sticks, firms and banks and all this kind of stuff that the lower denominations and the small notes, which is this is lining up exactly perfectly with what we told the family. So that was the reason I called, just to confirm what the team told you and what you told the family, and you were exactly spot on, my brother, and all the stuff that you told the family. This is really very interesting and more confirmation to us that definitely they're printing those kind of money. Now remember, they have still to report in the M2 figure, even though they're not showing it to us yet, because by regulations and policy of the IMF, when the Federal Reserve or the central bank print currency, they have to add it to their money supply, even though we cannot see those. And we all know, in our opinion, this is the lower denominations. For you to print 50 million, and this is so huge, so significant, and so impressive.
It is, because I'll tell you, think about it, Delta. Can you think of anything else that would cost that much? I mean, what they do? Order pizza for everybody in the nation? It's logical and it is fitting in. It's not a square peg into a round opening. This is a perfect match, and this is the timing of when you would see this on their spreadsheet. It's been delivered. Go ahead, sir.
Absolutely, and this part was really very very interesting, very exciting to see that. But the most important part is, I did post another article today. I think it was about I believe it was like 128 or it was 182. I don't remember.
Yeah.
But it was an article again in the news thread too that the financial committee, they met with the central bank governor and with the authority of the tax and customs boarding. And they're talking about basically to fix the monetary policy or the al-Islah al-Mali, what we call it basically here in Arabic, this is what basically it is. And I'm not sure if you saw another one I put in today. They're trying to get the green light for the CBI to open another branch in the near future in Slimania, which they don't have a branch, they have in Arabic.
Wait till I tell you what Walking Stick. In fact, I might give that report tonight. To have that bank in the Kurdistan region just open up as a BBB from the Central Bank of Iraq is huge. That timing is just perfect. Go ahead, sir. I didn't mean to interfere.
No, you're absolutely fine, my brother. So, but the most important part in that one, the financial, by the way, the last 24, 48 hours, the financial committee with the Central Bank of Iraq, they're so busy talking about this. And then even the members of the financial committee, some of them they're from the Kurdistan region, they talked with the central bank governor about the obstacle of the fiscal policy of the nation of Iraq.
Yes, they
so
did.
That's what's the word. But the one that I was really so surprised that the family did not get that.
What?
I did post one article earlier, only a couple of comments I got in it, but that was a very, very huge article. It's just amazing, and it's going to open your mouth up and say, wow, this is just amazing. The financial committee asking the central bank governor on the mechanism how to sell the currency.
I got it. Yeah, I got it right here. What's his name? Firefly gave it to us. I gave it to Walking Stick, and he said, "Oh my goodness!" But I don't want to say anything. This is your floor. Go right ahead. I'm going to talk about it tonight.
No, that's absolutely fine. But it's really very busy there, and this is just amazing. Now, if you think about it, and over there, it's not really very clear. I went to the Arabic side. I did read it just to find out what he's really talking about, the mechanism of selling currency. Now, we all know he's not talking about the auctions, obviously, because the financial committee of the parliament, which is, by the way, this is the guy, Haitham al-Jabouri. He's the president of the financial committee, and he's the pro-evaluation, pro-reinstatement, purchasing power. This is the guy that is asking the CBI about the mechanism of selling the currency. What is the mechanism? I mean, just think about it. So if you really
to raise
think
the
about
value.
it, put it aside, he's not talking because he knows the auction. He's not talking about the auction because he's not going to ask him the question that he knows. So it looks like if you really think about it, it's very possible, in my opinion, that he's talking about the new lower denomination that we're talking about.
Yes.
The mechanism of selling the currency. So how are you going to sell them? This he's telling him how you're going to sell those. So in my opinion, this was very, very huge for him to ask him about this. So, I mean, this baby's about to be delivered, like you say all the time.
I'll tell you, Manny, this is fantastic news. I'm getting a little bit nervous. No, really, because if I have time tonight, I'll tell the family, they came out and they told the citizens, look, we're going to do our very best to get you that budget this month. What? Yeah. And we're going to get it to you before the end of the year. It's because Daddy's there, and Daddy put them in a chokehold and put the microphone up to their mouth and said, tell them what I just told you to say. So they're saying everything that the citizens want to hear now. And this is extremely good, especially what you just said. How do you pronounce, I say Somalia, how do you pronounce that place? Somalia.
Which one? The
first,
al-Mali?
the city where they opened up the new branch in Kurdistan. What's
Oh,
it?
it's Sulaimania.
Sulamania. Sulamania.
Suleimania, yeah,
Sulamania.
Suleimania. So they have a branch in Erbil, which is good, but for them to open it, because this is what the Kurdistan region they're asking them to do.
Darn right.
They're requesting that. They need like an official request from the
You,
Kurdistan government for the CBI to do it. But that was amazing too.
Walking Stick told me, he says, Frank, yes, I know about the other one in Erbil, but you don't understand. Kurdistan has been pissed off. They didn't want to work with nobody in the GOI, and they were stubborn about sending, and they were stubborn about Article 140. But now, do you realize that the Central Bank of Iraq now has the ability to distribute the new small category notes because now they got a bank there representing them? And I said, dang, I didn't think about that. He says, all along, that has been the plan. And there are many parts of the plan that are unfolding right before your eyes right now. So, pretty cool.
Absolutely. And one more thing is just let you know about this budget, because all the time, we all know this budget is going to be totally different, and all the stuff that they have in it, it's basically post-rate events, like for the reconstructions, Article 140, and whatever the demand of the citizen they're asking for. And what I did is, I'm not sure if you noticed or saw that, I did bring, a blast from the past,
Yeah.
an article talking about the budget 2012 and 13.
Yeah.
And this is lining up exactly like what we told the family,
Yep.
that this budget is going to be different, which is the Central Bank of Iraq, technically they cannot delete the zeros after the fact. It has to be beforehand.
Right.
So, and the rest is history,
Manny,
basically. But
Manny,
but I know what's going on there.
Manny,
Yes, sir.
tonight we found out they're telling them. Walking Stick said, Frank, it's no secret. Stop acting like it's a big discovery. Everybody knows that they're going through a reinstatement. The citizens know. The international world knows. So for you to be so excited about that, Manny, what I got excited about is that on television they told the citizens that there is a post RV rate. There is a post RV rate, and guess for what? For the budget.
Absolutely.
Which is the rate change. Oh my gosh! And
Absolutely.
I said, I can't believe they said that. And that's when Walking Stick says, you shut up and grow up. Yes, sir, I understand.
And the good news is, we all know that, and of course we should see the rate before the budget goes to the parliament. And even though some other people, they think probably otherwise, that they have to pass the budget first in the rate, because when this budget goes to the parliament, it's going to be exposed and everybody's going to see the rate. So I do believe the central bank is right. They're not going to do that. It's very possible, in my opinion, that we should see the rate before the budget goes to the parliament.
There is a plan, and it's working, and it's unfolding perfect. Love you, my brother. You be safe, and don't be a stranger. Call me. I miss you. I've been so busy. I don't know if I told you, my father, I have to take care of him. My sister and my wife and I, the three of us, so we're taking our shifts. So I go in the morning, and my sister goes in the evening. But love you, miss you, and I'll talk to you soon, okay?
I love you so much, brother, and happy Thanksgiving to everybody, you, Tink family. And I love you guys all. Thank you very much, brother. I'll keep in touch with you.
Indeed. Bye-bye now.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we will continue. I was going to show you something, but maybe I shouldn't. Because, but that is the plan, in my opinion. In my opinion, the plan is to accomplish everything that the citizens want this year. Delta. Good luck on your mission. Thank you. Continuing in our study, family. Well, I want you to remember that the budget, if you look at your notes, you're going to see something that you can relate to about what I'm about to say. And by the way, everything is in my opinion, because everything I'm going to tell you before I leave tonight is extremely powerful. I need for you to pay attention and to listen because I'm not going to be with you tomorrow on purpose. I want to cook a turkey dinner. I'm not going to be with you on Thursday on purpose. It's Thanksgiving. You're going to be with your loved ones. I want to take a turkey to my dad. And I will be with you on Friday, but only for a little bit because on Fridays I go into my team chat. If you're not a member of my forum, ktfalways.com, you should be. And for that Russian person that sent us over 200 emails today, you silly, stupid human being, get a life. Anyways, yeah, because on Friday it's just going to be a little bit, and then the rest I'm taking it into my forum. And then on Saturday in my forum, you probably won't see me here. I'll be in my forum and I'll answer their questions in there. And you saw last Saturday, those were some very good questions that helped a lot. And then on Sunday I won't be with you, and then the following day is Monday, a week from yesterday. So there's a schedule. I would tell you to pay attention because the budget, in my opinion, was recalculated at multiple exchange rates. The plan, and there is the plan, is not to go into 2020. It is not on the schedule. In my opinion, the Vice President Pence said many things at the meeting with Kurdistan. Because if you remember, our dear brother Eddie told us, Mr. Frank, they're showing special interest groups that are talking right now with Pence and Kurdistan. Yes, you see, son, those are lobbyists that represent many different oil companies because they know they are about to bust the door down. There are also special interest groups, lobbyists for the citizens. They are telling us everything, Mr. Frank, about this meeting between Kurdistan and your vice president. Inside of that television program, Mr. Frank, they said to us, we're going to get you the budget this year. They said they were going to do it next year in February. But your Pence make them say something else. Yeah. Mr. Frank, they also said on TV when they was talking about that the budget has a post rate. There's a post rate for the budget. That's what they said, Mr. Frank. Yes, because it's no secret. They are telling you all of this. They are telling you all of this. Whether they want to or not. Because there is a plan. And no Iranian forces, no Iranian cowards are going to tell the United States what to do with Iraq. There's a plan, and it has nothing to do with you, Iran. We arrived overnight. They didn't even expect us. Did you expect Pence to show up, family? Did you know he was going? There's more. One of them arrived today. In my opinion, this is them telling the citizens of the sequence to follow. There will be the pictures and descriptions that we have to give to you. Then you will have this rate. Now, granted, we are calling it the post-RV rate because we've already revalued the currency, and then it'll be a reinstatement. But then also that would be first. That would be second. Number three. Then we will show you these new small category notes that we gave you pictures and descriptions of, and then all of that will be the post rate that we'll put into the budget at the end, because all that other stuff's got to come out first. Well, you put your shoes on and then your socks? Nah. In 2019, KTFA, they tell us all of this because there is no reason that they cannot do this. None whatsoever. I'll give you a perfect example. This I meant to say, this is a perfect example of the continual education that I was constantly and still am constantly harping on. The continual education to the citizens is important. The Iraqis the Iraqis speak Arabic, right? Of course they do. Yet they are still confused on the plan that the CBI has been teaching them for a long time. Isn't that interesting? We speak English, we don't speak Arabic, but boy, we understand exactly what they're doing. And inside of Iraq, the citizens who speak Arabic, what are they talking about? We have been a conduit for their understanding between them and the CBI. All honor and glory to God. Beauty fades, but stupid is forever. But in this case, the citizens are well educated on what is coming from the CBI. It is no secret. It is no denial. Oh, jeez. The budget, family. Here we go. Oh boy, here we go. Get on your horse. Buckle up. Sharpen your pencils. In my opinion, there were 5 budgets. All 5 of them were recalculated. At 1-to-1. But it never went any further than that. Because of the conditions of the environment that were not suitable, they were protesting. Protesting, you mean these past weeks? No. Maliki was protesting against these 5 budgets. ISIS and Daesh certainly were, because they didn't want anything to change with their auctions in the CBI. And this was a while ago. 5 budgets. And they were all recalculated from a program rate to 1-to-1 with the American dollar. But those calculations stopped, mainly because of Maliki's leadership. Now, the 2020 budget, in my opinion, was stress tested in many scenarios under multiple rates. better listen. You're not going to have me for a long time unless you're a member of our forum. These stress tests, these scenarios, these de facto crisis situations that were created were on 5 budgets that they tested. They created bad things. Like a pilot. When he's becoming a pilot, he'll run through many different scenarios of failure, of catastrophe. Like the astronauts. They ran many different type of scenarios in the simulator. Not once, but many times, over and 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 over, so that the mistake is so fresh that by instincts they know how to correct the problem. By de facto crisis situations, by stress test scenarios, bad things were created and they were tested. This rate was tested against these conditions to see if the rate was affected in any way, shape, or form under these scenarios. How will the rate be affected? How will it act? How will it bounce off of our GDP? How will it affect our economy? What are the pluses and minuses? In my opinion, ladies and gentlemen, KTFA Kona, they picked the correct rate for the 2020 budget to meet the citizens' demands. They created the worst case scenario budgets, the worst crisis you could think of. They created them, they tested them. It was a crisis management of these 5 budgets. So, in my opinion, you can look for your budget for 220 this year, but they've already had 5 budgets. And these 5 budgets have already been factored in with different exchange rates, variances, to recalculate the budget. Demands were put into it. It is a historical budget. My God, it's full of stars. It's so big. You think a program rate is going to fulfill it? Now listen carefully once and twice, but not thrice. 4 of the 5 banks tested it the rate at 1-to-1. But the 2020 budget was actually calculated in the 5th budget experiment, budget testing, with multiple exchange rates, not just one exchange rate. So what did the CBI, the Fab 4, decide on as the 2020 budget rate? It's unknown to me. But the important thing that I'm trying to teach you is that, in my opinion, there have been 5 test budgets, and they were run successfully to make the 2020 budget successful for the citizens' demands. So much has happened in such a small amount of time. An accordion effect of time compressioned into a Venturi tube, into a Venturi force. with great power. So which budget did they pick? I bring you all this because they told you, well, they told the citizens, there is a post-rate budget. Mr. Frank, what does that mean? Eddie, now teach them. As you find it, I teach it. What is a post-rate budget, Eddie? What is a post-rate budget? You ready? Write this down. A post-rate budget is an amendment to the budget due to a rate change, an exchange rate change. Post-rate budget is an amendment to the budget due to the exchange rate change. Yeah. Who is that? Oh, hey, Dana. Yeah. We don't need no stinking testing badges because we got them. And which one did they select, family? Again, I want to stress to you, family, that these budget recalculations were done a very long time ago. It's just now working and coming together. Pay attention. It's just now working and you're seeing it and all coming together because of the agreements between all the parties involved. And in my opinion, this is about blue line. Go blue line. In my opinion, this is about a complete about-faced attitude to go from the 2020 budget to now doing it in 2019. All because Daddy arrived to tell them to do this, because that was the plan. Daddy showed up to tell them how it's going to occur. We all are very, very pleased that the auctions are no longer using American dollars in any way, shape, or form. That's wonderful. That's wonderful. Now, yesterday, you heard me read to you from Eddie Firefly saying that the taxing, they're taxing, they're charging us taxes, Mr. Frank, at the borders. Ooh, never. I know, man. I know, Eddie, and you should be very grateful for that. Why, Mr. Frank? Because it was an IMF mandate. It was the United States mandate, and when the United States showed up on Sunday, that mandate was accomplished instantly. Don't you love being on the winning side? Yeah, Fireflies. It's good to see that they are implementing taxes at the borders now. One of the requirements to go international with their currency was to protect their borders. and then to collect taxes at their borders before all of this that we're seeing now. Before it was not even collected, it was not done, it was not regulated. Nobody gave a nobody cared. It was just stolen at the borders. This is another step to the international community, another step for the international currency. May I make a note? In my opinion, not only will the 2020 budget be voted and passed on this year in 2019, but it will be open too. Out of the blue, they come out yesterday, the day after we show up. Y'all citizens, what? We're going to send it to Parliament. We're going to read it. And in fact, you're probably going to get it in a couple of days. Inside of this month of November? Yeah, more than likely. And I can see Pence saying, because that was the plan. You controlled your auctions, right? Yes, we did. The selling of your currency, right? The selling of our currency. Is that what they were trying to tell us on television, Mr. Frank? Yes, Eddie. You control your auctions, the selling of your currency now, right? Because the CBI and the GOI had an amazing meeting and they talked about the taxes. Your taxes are now being collected at the borders, Eddie. And the selling of your currency is also now controlled in the auctions of the CBI. Oh, but the other gurus knew this, right? Oh, I'm sorry, got it. I go back an awful lot to those auctions, and I just want you to make sure you understand. Oh, look at Militia Man. Bless your heart. Hey, buddy, you're going to have a lot to write about pretty soon. Where did he put the definition of a blue line? Either two lines divided in a hockey net and equals the zones and the separate. That's a good one. No, our notes are in 3 colors. If I don't want to read what I'm reading, then I tell them that I don't want to read a certain color, and we switch over our files to the next color. They're not stopping the auctions. You know that, right? Can I give you a word that would be a little bit more constructive? Because I'm really disappointed that everyone keeps thinking that they stopped the auctions. They didn't stop the auctions. They stopped using the American dollar in the auctions. And in order to accomplish that, they suspended the auctions. Okay? Go tell the other gurus that. Frank 26 said they suspended so that they suspended them to remove the American dollar from the auction itself as an international currency. No more to be used. No more US. Now it's USD into IQD and distributed, and that's it. But the stopping, and you know what else? They also have told the citizens we're going to meet all your demands. Now, I want you to stop and think about those 2 things. Number 1, they suspended the auctions to remove the American dollar. Number 2, they dramatically came out all of a sudden and they said we're going to meet all your demands right now. Wow. Thank you. I mean, we know why they're doing it. the only way they could be doing it, both of these equal a rate change of the program rate. Yeah. Yeah. Come on. Black. Black. Here's what we're going to do. We are going to continue reading. And then when we're done, I'm going to switch over to Eddie R. Firefly's report from today. And we'll also overlap it with yesterday, because it's important for you to understand that they were celebrating in the streets. Interesting that I don't think that the media even covered it. You know why? It's not newsworthy. That's good news. We want bad news. Show me blood. Show me people dying. Show me women screaming and being raped. HCO. Ladies and gentlemen, when they say constantly now, citizens, what your demands and everything that you want, it is in the post-RV rate. It is in the post-RV rate. There's only one solution to the protesting, isn't there? Raise the value of your currency. Citizens, the budget has a rate, and it is a post-RV rate. After we do these, after we raise the value, after we show you the pictures, after we give you the new small category, all it is, right? The rate change will be put into the budget. We got to change the rate first. No, excuse me. We got to show you the we have to show you the pictures and the descriptions first. And then we show you the budget. And then there's a post-RV rate that goes into that budget. So everything works. And it's interesting because it is just so bloody obvious. That bad, huh, babe? It's time to go.
No.
The fact that they have a rate for the budget is no longer a secret, in my opinion. They're telling the citizens, it is well known that a new exchange rate is coming to the IQD. You know it, the international world knows it, the citizens know it. It's all part of the education. And the reason why there's a new exchange rate coming to the IQD, in my opinion, is because they tested many multiple rates. And they have been calculating with the new rates to show that the IQD is ready for the international community. They threw the worst conditions at these multiple rates. In order to see and to measure the tolerance of that rate that they were experimenting with, to see and to measure the tolerance of that rate in the international community, because if it was not capable of withstanding the pressure that this dinar is about to go under in the international community, everybody wants to date that pretty girl and take her to the prom. Everybody. And they're gonna use it, the currency. They're gonna trade with it. They're gonna buy with it. They're gonna sell with it. It'll be in massive amounts, in platforms between banks, in trillions of amounts. This currency is hot because it's coming from a central financial hub, a Mecca of Iraq in the middle of the Middle East. They will be the lead of a basket of that Middle East. It's no secret what the plan was, and the plan is unfolding right before our eyes. the rate that they have selected of these 5 budgets that I told you about, and 4 of them were at 1-to-1, but one of them was not. One of them was tested at multiple rates. In my opinion, the rate that they did select via the recalculations was very successful. That is why they are using it now, 1-to-1. It's called a rider. Command override. It's called a rider inside of the budget. I told you this 2 years ago. Family, there's something in the budget with the HCO. Well, family, Frank, if it was in there 2 years ago, why didn't they use it 2 years ago? Because they were testing the exchange rates. That's what Obama was supposed to do. That the laziest president in the United States of America's history did not do this. Find me one thing that he did. He didn't want anything for you to advance. Everything that he did is being taken apart right now by this administration because it was designed to go against America and to destroy you as an American citizen. But you didn't care. You had something new. You were excited. Let's vote him in again. What did he do? I don't care. He's pretty. Well, he does a lot of pretty ugly things. And the 2 years that have passed have been to do this calculations. You don't just make a rate change, stupid. You test it, you model it, you make sure you... No. So Delta comes in and he tells us, oh my goodness, you guys are just, well, at least you're talking about our subject here. Well, good. They're not talking, he golfed? He didn't golf. He played basketball, b-ball. No, you're right, he golfed. He was horrible at golf. I want some more ice. What was the name of that city in Kurdistan? Somalia. Golly. Somalia, Mama. Mama say it. Anyways, this place, the Delta came in and told you, you see, the CBI now has one of their BBBs, their baby banks back in Kurdistan. They never had. Well, they had one in Erbil, but not in Kurdistan. Now, how the hell are you going to get the new small category notes distributed from there? I mean, we got it up there in Erbil, but now you got this bank? Just like that? Just like that? What, do you got seeds that grow banks like Jack and the Beanstalk? How'd you do that? How did you do that? Huh? Oh, I see. Okay. Never mind. So now this bank in Kurdistan is going to receive them from the Erbil Bank that got the ice cream truck delivered to them last week, and they will be sending them down over here. And now you can distribute them to any smaller banks that you may have in that area, or just directly to the citizens. Why? Because that was the plan. And by the way, this is not in Somalia. This is actually it's well, okay, I mean, it's near Kurdistan. It's near the Kurdistan region, but it covers that Kurdistan region, and that's good enough. Another thing there, like I told you, establishing in Kurdistan means that the Kurdistan area, this part of Iraq, is no longer going to say, we're an independent state. What? We're an independent state. You're a state of confusion. What are you talking about, Kurdistan? We want to be our own state. Don't do that. Yeah, let's trifurcate. Let's see, you got Kurdistan, yeah, you got Erbil, and you got Baghdad. How's that? We trifurcate. No, stick together. And all of a sudden, now you've got them proclaiming, yeah, okay, we got one of your banks from the CBI, from the Central Bank of Iraq. Yeah, you realize that that is a vein that now goes to your district. You realize that the connection that we have, yeah, you ain't going nowhere, are you? No, we ain't going nowhere. We're going to stay. We're one. Kumbaya. That's impressive. Who'd you guys talk to? Pence. What'd he tell you? Let's make a deal. I would have loved to have seen that carte blanche that he had, man. What you want, sucker? There you go. Huh? And then boom, 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 all these miracles. Oh, God. Can you make them walk on water? Come on, Pence, huh? I bet you could. I bet you could. Yeah, I bet you we could. So yeah, it established a relationship between Kurdistan and Baghdad. What? The other gurus didn't teach you this stuff? I'm a bad boy. It establishes a relationship between Kurdistan and Baghdad. They're not independent states anymore, and we're going to be okay. And my gosh, that's fantastic for the stability and the growth of the Iraqi dinar itself. Because if you stop and think about it, where did I tell you it's at? Go look on a map and understand the reasons why it's a central hub. The central bank, Baghdad, the CBI, now is represented in the Kurdistan area to assist the citizens on the new rate, on the new small category notes. And that's why so many more had to be printed. This CBI branch opening this extension of the CBI, they will now distribute the new small category notes from the CBI to the branches in the Kurdistan area, and then those banks will distribute them to any other banks in that area, and then those banks will distribute it to the citizens in that specific region, whereas before they never had the ability to do that. They now have the ability to turn big notes into little notes. Because in my opinion, all of the banks of the Central Bank of Iraq have ice cream that was delivered. And before it all melts, it's probably best to put that cherry on top of it right now. Alrighty, it's 8:30. We're not doing too bad. Let's see if we can, here, this is the last on my notes, and I'm going to go over to, in fact, you know what? No, forget it. Although, you know what? Okay, look, I'll show you. So, before I say goodnight to you, remind me to tell you this possibility in the near proximal future, in my opinion only, right? Take it now. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. We're going to today three reports. One, 2, 3. Oh, 4 reports. All right, now what we're going to do is we're going to go into yesterday, and I'm going to read it rather quickly so that you can understand the environment of yesterday and how we walk into today. Mr. Frank, we've been told on the television that by financial advisors, the lobbyists, that the 2020 budget will include things never before, like the taxes at the borders, at the border crossings. Also, they told us about the reconstruction costs. Also, Mr. Frank, they told us about the HCL, the oil and gas. Mr. Frank, they are telling us basically that it's a post-rate budget. They are telling us that it's a post-rate budget. How can you have border crossing taxes if not international currency? The final signing today, big meeting as the Kurds were in town, meeting with Baghdad to finalize and sign HCL Article 140. Then they are talking about a push to get the budget read and voted on in this year of 2019, Mr. Frank. I say to him, Eddie, I want you to consider something. In my opinion, God has put you and I together for a reason. Our relationship helps KTFA family to understand more, and our relationship helps you. Now, I want you to consider to be a leader for your people and tell them the things that you know with me, and tell them that there is much more coming from the U.S. Tell them to consider what has happened in just the last 5 days because of the United States. You see, the things that you have learned in the last few days are for the monetary reform, in my opinion. That's why some of it does not make sense as they are explaining it to you now, because they have not given you the purchasing power yet, which should only leave you with the understanding that the purchasing power is definitely coming. It is a true event in order for all that you have learned just in the last few days to be a reality. Be strong, Eddie. Teach your brothers and sisters in Iraq that the fighting has to stop. Go home. God bless you all. Because all that you have learned in the last few days is not from your government. It is from my government. And we've been working on it. They've been working on it for the last 2 years as my government replaces your government for your demands, for your purchasing power, for your respect. Thank you, Mr. Frank. We have been out all day getting some food. We will see the family, and we will try to send you more later on. Then later on that afternoon, yesterday, Mr. Frank, they got breaking news on our TV. They're saying that the Kurds in Baghdad have reached an agreement. An agreement, Mr. Frank. And they have signed off on first agreements in over 15 years. Yeah, that's when we arrived. And now that we have arrived again. So yeah, you see, when we arrived 15 years ago, we cut that relationship. And now that we've arrived again with Donald Trump leadership, we made the we rejoined them again, and we made the deal even sweeter for both sides. Yeah, it's been 15 years, Mr. Frank. They never had an agreement. 15 years, the HCL and Article 140 agreements, and now clear. Now they're telling us that it's all clear and ready for 2020 budget. I say to him, first of all, let me say praise God, and second of all, let me say I told you so. Take care of yourself. Bye-bye. Stay inside. After this news, Mr. Frank, no, inside. Now the citizens are in the streets, but they are celebrating. They are not protesting. I ask you to be a leader, Eddie, for these people. You are. Get these people back home. Get them off the streets. This is all fantastic. I may announce all of this tonight, which I did yesterday on our call. Then he says, hey, Mr. Frank, I want to thank you and tell you that the news is now saying that this paves way for the 2020 budget to now go to Parliament and to be viewed and read and voted. I can't believe that, Mr. Frank. Well. Then today, 7:49 in the morning, and here we go with 4 reports. Good morning, good morning there, me, Frank. Oh, Mr. Good morning there, Mr. Frank. Today on our Arakia television, they showed the CBI governor Alak. Alak is on TV. The CBI is going to talk a lot this week. Gosh, I wish I would have said that. Mr. Frank. Yeah, on television today, they showed the Central Bank of Iraq Governor Alak. He's meeting with the Parliament Finance. The CBI is meeting with the GOI? Yeah, Alak meeting with the Parliament Financial Committee about a tax. That's your border. And the selling of our currency. Your auctions. This is all about the monetary reform, Eddie. I told you. We not understand this. It was a quick piece on our news. Then they changed it to Parliament. Oh, here. Yeah, we don't know what that means. You do now, Eddie, don't you? And that's really good news, isn't it? And to think the GOI and CBI together were talking about this for many hours today. Why? Well, let me see here. What do you think, Ali? Well, no, we stopped the auctions. We don't get no more American dollars. What? Oh, my God. What are we going to do? I don't know. Maybe we can go to Iran and steal it back. No, what are you crazy? I can't do that. No, yeah. Somebody hit him on the head. Okay. Anybody else got an idea? You in the back room. Yeah, I think maybe we should just lift the value of the currency. What do you think? That would solve it, wouldn't it? Well, I guess so, and that's what you see this guy. Yeah, we see him. That's what he wants us to do. He said it's the plan. What do you think? Should we do it? Yeah, I think we should. Okay, we shall. Yeah, they're talking about the tax and the selling of our currency, and a lot more, Eddie, at that meeting. We're not understanding this, but it was a quick piece on our news, and then they changed to the Parliament. They changed to the Parliament, Eddie? Yeah, they changed to Parliament, waiting on our arrival. They're saying that they did, that the Parliament is waiting. The TV went over to Parliament? Yeah, Mr. Frank. And what Parliament say? We waiting for the budget. Oh my gosh. Really? Yeah, Mr. Frank, they say they're waiting for the budget. What's Parliament going to do with it? What is today? This was yesterday. Oh, no, today. And so what are they going to do? Today's 26, 27, 28. What is it, 3 days? 28? How many days in a month? 30? 30. So today is 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Golly, they got plenty of time to pass that budget in this month, don't they? Yes, sir. You ever see those old cowboy movies where the bad guy, we don't need no stinking badges. Yeah, okay. And he whips out his guns. Let me see you dance. He's shooting at bullets at his feet, and the guy's avoiding the bullets. Yeah. We don't understand this. It was a quick piece on our news. And then they changed it to Parliament. They said that Parliament is awaiting on the arrival of the 2020 budget, which is expected in the coming days. He got fired. Which is expected in the coming dance ministers, which is coming. They didn't want to do this, did they? How the dickens did they go from darkness to light? How did they do this? Huh? Daddy's song. What is that? Michael Jackson's song, isn't it? No, Daddy. Don't cry, Daddy. Daddy, please don't cry. Anyways, so yeah, there's more. I don't know what to tell you, Mr. Frank. But Parliament says that they're waiting for the budget. It's supposed to arrive. It did. It's supposed to arrive, and once the budget arrives here, it is expected. They say in the coming days, there's going to be more. They say there's more details of the deal between Kurdistan and Baghdad. But for now, we know it's a 1 year deal. But it is set up now. It is set up to renew without all of these previous meetings. Really, Eddie? Y'all, Mr. Frank, they're saying that from now on, no worries. Everything, these guys are so one now. They'll not even have to meet for the whole year. The deal was for the year, and it's set up to renew itself without these previous meetings. If all parties are happy, they're happy. Aren't they, Eddie? I don't know. Trust me, they're happy. They don't look happy. They don't have to look happy. They are happy. And they're giving you what you guys want, right? And we happy. We the happy people. Who is that? Samoan? Samoan! We the happy people. Anyways, if half the 90% of the people watching us like, well, what is he talking about? So, Mr. Frank, if all of these parties, Kurdistan and Baghdad, if they continue to agree for this whole year, well, then this is cool. And then, Mr. Frank, we see both. We see both the CBI and the GUI. We see both celebrating. They're celebrating too. Yeah, they celebrating. And you know what? We celebrating too in the streets. Well, good for you. But you know what? What? We also still protesting. Come on. Yeah, we still protesting. Eddie, all it's going to do is bring in more deaths, more sporadic explosions, more snipers. You got to go home, clear the streets. So, Mr. Frank, we see both of them celebrating, and we celebrating, but we still protesting. We still going on and protesting. We want Mahdi government gone, and we will not stop until it happens, okay? That's it. We await more news for and about the budget, which we have been told holds all of our demands. Yeah, but you're not going to get these demands unless you get off the streets. Can I have it? Get off the streets. Then he says, also, Mr. Frank, the World Bank officials were here. Eddie, they've been there. They're always there. That's part of the Fab Four. The WTO is not part of the Fab Four. They just recently started talking again because they are so anxious. Oh, please join us. Please join us. We want some of your oil. You'll be a part of our team, right? We want some of your percentage of fees and dues that you have to pay to be a part of the WTO. Oh, please join us, please. It's more advantageous for the WTO to have Iraq join them than the other way around. But back to this. Also, Mr. Frank, the World Bank. Yeah. Also, Mr. Frank, the World Bank officials were interviewed. And they're saying on TV that the meeting in July this year, you see, Eddie, they tried to get them back then, and was it July? I thought it was before that. They're saying that the meeting in July with the WTO and Baghdad this year had scheduled Iraq at the end of November to have a final meeting. Oh, I didn't know that. No wonder they're here, Eddie, to have a final meeting in reference to the reaction of the process of entry to the WTO. Basically, Mr. Frank, they're saying that this is a final meeting to check off all things that Iraq needs to do to have re-entry into Iraq to the WTO. Yeah, Eddie, the plan was to do everything before the end of the year, and the WTO knew this, and that's why they made the meeting for November. Ta-da. That is the plan. Today, and then I respond to him about that. Eddie, a lot of progress that tells you that Article 8 is being shown. And they're making a change to the rate. And all because the 2020 budget is being rushed right now by Daddy. And so much more is coming. And you can see this every day, can't you? Yes, Mr. Frank, and thank you again. We will send more after dinner. Copy that. Then after dinner. Mr. Frank, we finished dinner. And I got to read this. We finished dinner. You and your family, you're welcome to come here one day. Experience Iraq. We give you best tour, Mr. Frank. That's so sweet. And he goes on to say, on TV, we give you, you guys got cookies? Okay. We here one day experience Iraq. We will give you best tour ever, Mr. Frank. On TV, we see where Barzani from Kurdistan is coming next week to do meeting with Baghdad about export of oil. Yeah, you see, they've made that agreement, but now they're going to meet not to bicker and dicker, but how are we going to make money now? Oh, that's so good. That's all it takes. Anyways, they're going to talk about exports of oil and federal budget. The percentage that they have to. Okay. How much you got put over there? All right. There you go. It's in your budget. You got it? Okay. You happy? Okay. Can we sell the rest? Oh, no. Penn said we could. He did? Yeah. And we can keep the money too, he said. Okay. Yeah, like you're going to argue, huh? It's a follow-up meeting, they say, and also Baghdad saying for the first time they have a line of communication directly with the protesters. Damn right. And who do you think made that line happen? For the first time, we have a line of communication directly with the protesters. Pick up the damn phone. Talk to these people. No, I don't want to. Next! For the first time, they're telling us on TV that they have a line now of communication directly with the protesters, and they will make use of this very carefully. Damn right, don't you dare frank this up. That was funny. Human rights leaders. Now think about that. UN. Human rights leaders committee members are demanding Mahdi. Hey, Mahdi, what? Come to the parliament. No! Come to the parliament immediately. Why? They got a stack of files for you, sucker. Come to the parliament immediately to discuss the responsibility for the killings that are still going on in other provinces. It's really crazy here, Mr. Frank. Other provinces like Barca are getting hit bad. Oh, excuse me. Now, yesterday, when I got to this part here, he's been in communication with his bank. In my opinion, his bank has been updated more recently because of the progress since Sunday. In my opinion, why you don't know about this, I don't know. I don't care. In my opinion, I give you my opinion about this. And in my opinion, I'm going to go ahead and give you this bank guy's opinion about what he's saying now. Mr. Frank, the banker guy explains to me. He just explained to me. This is all it's explained. Is his opinion. Okay, Eddie, what's his opinion? He explains to me. And by the way, it's spot on. He explains to me. And obviously they were updated. up to the level of our study in Intel. He explains to me that the deal on the oil and the gas on January the 1st will have Kurdistan sending 250,000 barrels of oil to Baghdad daily. And Baghdad spending money now to the Kurds, sending money now. That was the deal from Pence. This whole cause, in my opinion. And and Baghdad sending money now to Kurdistan in post RV rate. There it is again. Look at this. I mean, I ain't making this stuff up. I get on this. They're on television telling the citizens, "Look at me, we got the budget, okay." And Kurdistan, and Baghdad, and the oil stuff, the ACL, we got it, okay. And both of these are based on a post RV rate after the revaluation, recalculation, rate, which for the budget. Okay, because you stopped the budget, the auctions. No, we didn't stop them. Suspended them. Did it right. Okay. So, how we doing, by the way? Oh my, almost 1900. Oh, a pleasure and an honor to be with you all. I'm doing my best to be really good tonight. Okay, what you think? Huh? Am I being good tonight? Yeah. I get cookies when I'm good. I do. I do. I wrote the paper that says it too. Isn't that something? And this is what Walking Stick told me today when we got to this part. He says, this is what the part when we got to, he says, hey, Frank, what? It's not a freaking secret, man. Oh. It cannot be a secret is what it says. Yeah, it cannot. Look, what's the matter? It cannot be a secret anymore. That's why they're selling them. The post RD rate. After the calculations, here's the rate, and then you get the budget. Yeah. I mean, I want some pizza. Can I have pizza, babe? Yeah. Can I have ice cream? Dame los dos. 250,000 barrels of oil to Baghdad daily, and Baghdad is sending money to Kurdistan in the post RV rate. However, Mr. Frank, if the budget is not approved, what you talking about, Willis? However, if the budget is not approved and not voted through at that time, it will be all on paper only as far as the payment rate. And when the budget is implemented, then, no, we don't have to go through this because you'll see they'll pass it. But if they don't, you're right. It'll stay as a program rate on the paper. But then, what did I say? There's a writer. And they told you. This is your bank guy updated telling you. And he says, if they don't vote through at that time, it will be all on paper as far as the payment rate. And when the budget implemented, then they can retro back the writer. They can retro back or backdate to make this official. But their goal is to have budget of 2020 done and implemented in 2019. Just to let you know, we are close, but it may be a little longer if the budget is not implemented in 2019. Yeah, okay. Isn't it amazing, Eddie, how things changed? I responded to Eddie about this and I said, Eddie, what you just sent me, I mean, we've been teaching it for years. We call it the writer. Um, and this is exactly how I told you that it would work out. And I am grateful that they are now telling you all of this because it verifies what we have been saying. There was a writer. There was a writer in the budget. And that is what I've been telling you because Daddy activated it a few days ago. And that's what I've been telling you because Daddy activated it a few days ago, in my opinion. God bless you. Please sending reports and be safe. 5 minutes and we're done, okay? I promise. Mr. Frank, in my opinion, my banker friend says that he's pretty sure about what he just told me. Yes, except the part where he said, but if they don't vote on it this year. Yeah, make my day. I told him, I said, notice how he uses retro back. That is the writer in the budget. Notice how he says that they are waiting for the post rate this year, not next year. In other words, your banker friend has been updated to our level of study. Oh, well. Anyways, that's enough. I'm hungry. I'm hungry. And I mean, it just seems to me that if I'm gonna kick back and relax now, yeah, might as well have myself a little bit of a pizza. And then the cool part about it is that once I know certain percentages or whatever of my own holdings, yeah, wow, man, then I'm gonna have me some ice cream. I love Dippin' Dots. Dippin' Dot ice cream. It's good. Mmm. Oh. Are you hungry? You should be. And I will be with you again tomorrow. I'm gonna cook. Me and my wife, we cook a turkey. And then on Thursday, I gotta watch my Detroit Lions lose. So I'm busy taking turkey to my dad. And then on Friday, I'll come in for about 30 minutes and talk to you here on our UB2B. But then I'm going inside of my form. What we have, I don't want to release to everyone just yet. It'll be inside of our form. And in what we call our premium. And then on Saturday, I'll stay again. I probably won't do a UB2B. We'll see. And if I do, it'll be a small one. And then I go back to our forum to answer their questions and answers. You know, they had some great questions last week, and I brought it for everyone. They did a very good job. I was proud of their questions. And then on Sunday, nothing except we do have our prayer conference call with Andy and Burma, Strong CBM, and all of that gang there. I'll probably be there too and pray with everyone. And then I'll be with you a week from tomorrow or yesterday, which is next Monday. It's not a secret anymore, family. It is not a secret anymore. Let's be dismissed in the same manner that we were gathered together. Oh, wait a minute. That's on our Monday calls. I forgot. We don't have Andy to blow the shofar. So allow me to say this. I am a Christian. Proud of it. Not yet, don't call him yet. Oh my God, what are you doing? Hang up! Okay. I'm a Christian. I'm proud of it. And I strongly believe a responsibility lies within us. Today, I had a lady call me. Well, I called her, but she left me a text message. And she said, Frank, in 1993, my husband and I, we were at this revival, and Kim Clement was there, 1993. And we were struggling. We had financially lost a lot. So my husband and I went, but when we got there was about 500 people, but there was nowhere to sit. We were way at the back, literally out there. And when Kim Clement was up on stage, he was talking. And he started talking about the Iraqi dinar. Or did he? Maybe not at that moment. I forget. But the point is that Kim Clement, when he was preaching, he walked down on the floor. He went all the way past the 500 people, all the way to the back where these people were somewhere in that corner back there. And he said, come with me. He took them up on stage with about 5 other couples. And when he got to them, he held their hands and he said, you are going to be like blessed with millions to serve God's kingdom. Okay. I truly believe that from the same place, and I've said this before, but it's a good way to end it. From the same place where all of this started, in my opinion, where mankind himself, I am of the school of thought that there were many other types of hominage on this planet Earth, but they were not pleasing to God's eyes. And the reason why is because of a relationship that Satan's or some bad angels had with the women of planet Earth. And those offsprings were not pleasing to God. They were rather freakish. So God set aside and he said, you know what? In this place right here, I shall put man and woman in my image. And they will be fruitful and multiply, and I will get them everything they need. And I'll take good care of them. But we, unfortunately, were tempted. And it broke God's heart. And he cast us from a place that was loaded. You name something: sulfur, uranium, rare earth minerals, diamonds, gold, silver, platinum. You name it. It is there in abundance. I can show you regions where you can walk out there and the oil squirts out of your footstep. This place was special. And God put it together with 4 rivers to bring forth so much plentiful. And it still is that way. And it was left that way. And now it is Iraq. And I believe that Iraq and what they're going through right now is going to change the face of the Middle East and usher in what I have studied that is called the end times. And I believe a responsibility lies within me to teach you, if I can. When people order dinars from me, I actually put in extra dinars. I'm trying to seed as many Christians as I can. You see, from the place where the 4 rivers were, Garden of Eden, there once was Babel, and we tried to defy God. Yeah, really, you're God? Let me, come on, man to man, face to face. No, that's not how it works, son. Babel toppled. Then we tried it again, but the opposite way. How about the hanging gardens of Babylon? What about it? Where we're gods? No, you're not destroyed. And then you get today Baghdad, which is the Mecca now, a financial hub is about to be, and its currency is about to rock the world. And all of its assets are about to pour out into the world as a blessing. Now, it's going to anger those that are against what I believe in. And there's evil forces and there's good forces on this planet Earth. And guess what? They both got dinars. So we're going to have like two rams, the saints of the church and the saints of the anti-church. We're going to have a spiritual warfare. We're both going to be loaded. We're both going to do things. I read the book, though. I know we win. Yeah. In fact, I even asked God, can I be a part of that in Megiddo? Can I be a part of the Battle of Armageddon? I'm a warrior. I'll fight for you, God. He said, nah, not you. No, I don't want you there. You can sit on a white horse and eat popcorn on the sidelines if you want, but no, you don't go down there. All right. So that's why I carry the flag as high as I can. For those that want to study with me and understand, this is what it's about. And then when we're done, we put the flag down and we throw up the mask, a different flag. It's a Christian flag. And we will make sure that the whole world knows and sees it. Look, if you don't believe that, there's a God or there's a devil, you ever watch those shows? What's it called? Ghost Hunters or Ghost something? Ghost? Do you know what they're called, babe?
Ghost hunters, I think so.
I think they're called Ghost Adventures or Ghost Hunters or whatever. They take the little recording device. I get a big kick out of that, And they, is anybody here? And then when they play it back, yeah, I'm here. What do you want? Oh my God! Oh, jeez. That's electromagnetic tape. You know what I mean? And electromagnetic tape has the ability to pick up certain frequencies, not just sound. So, anyways, I watch those shows every now and then just for the entertainment. That's all. It's entertainment. But every now and then I look at it and I'm like, whoa, whoa. I mean, that seems for real. Whoa. Well, they just proved to me that there really are demons on this planet. And they're little ones too, huh? I like how they little. They just proved to me that there's demons in this world. That's kind of scientific proof you guys got there. So, therefore, if you can prove to me that there are demons, I can prove to you that there are saints. For everything, there is an opposite reaction. For a plus, there is a minus. For cold, there is hot. For anger, there is joy. So I believe deep in my heart that where there are demons, and I've seen these shows that kind of verify it. Like, whoa, dude! I don't know how you got that. Well, if there are demons, then there's definitely the opposite in the saints. Well, how come I never see the saints? I don't know. Some people tell me they talk to God. They see God. Wow, what a blessing that must be. I feel God. And the Holy Spirit and I communicate an awful lot. God and I communicate a lot. Jesus and I communicate a lot. The Holy Spirit, it's kind of like my mom. Clean up your room. Yes, ma'am. God is kind of like my dad. What you been doing, son? I went to school. I got a college educated. Good boy. And Jesus, Jesus, what's up, homie? Jesus is like my best friend. I have to go. I love you. Y'all take care of each other, okay? There's some powerful information here. You may want to read it over and over. Hey, by the way, I don't know if I'm supposed to do this, but could you please, pretty please, push the like button? There's this thing that it's a thumb up that goes like this, and then there's the thumb. Don't go the thumb down. Don't do that, okay? The thumb up. They're telling me that it's good for my ratings or credit or something or my profile or whatever. I appreciate it if you would hit the like button. It would mean the world to me. Okay, so I leave you all in peace. God bless you. We hope until I don't when.
Friday.
Oh yeah, maybe yeah, Friday a little bit. Yeah, and God bless, and may you be with great joy with your family on this Thanksgiving, and may you give thanks, especially for the things that you haven't received yet. Yes, babe.
They're asking for walking stick paper to remind you, but I think you already held it up. They said you told
Why
them-
didn't? There it
Oh,
is.
that's what they're asking for.
Yeah, they.
Pages and pages of
Oh yeah, and there's actually still three more pages here that I didn't read to you. Budget was recalculated with multiple exchange. No, it's not so. Okay. Shh. And here we're looking for. Wouldn't it be nice if somebody shows up on Thanksgiving? Yeah, but here's what I'll leave you with, and we'll say goodnight. I promise. You ready to shut this down, Tink? Get ready. May we say, our teams, to suggest to you to listen while we're gone before we get with you. Listen to the Iraqi Stock Exchange. Listen to the ESX also, Hebrew Stock Exchange. For more information on what? On both of them going live internationally. Why should we look for the ISX or ESX to go live international? Really? No. I mean, I know why, right. But can you give me an example? Why? Because one thing of the monetary reform affects another thing of the monetary reform. May we suggest that you listen to the Iraqi Stock Exchange and the ESX for more information about them going live internationally while I'm gone from you. You take care. God bless. Aloha.